It's not scalable. Hey, everybody, I'm JD Houvener, owner, founder, and patent attorney here at Bold Patents Law Firm. And scalable, meaning you think your company was not going to succeed or the product, it's not something that can be mass adopted by everyone. Well, this is a decent thing to think about, but know that you don't have to scale your product to have success. How does that work? Well, think about it this way. It's a way to profit, even if you never scale. So just on a smaller platform, serving a specific niche of customer type. So scalability is a business concern, not an invention requirement, meaning to get a patent granted, to contribute to society, to make a difference and impact to even small segments of people is important and should be considered so long as there's profit to be made there. The whole point of the patent system is to make money. And if your intentions through your invention is to impact the market, to try to find if there is a way to grow it, know that you don't need to actually try to impact as many people as possible. Profit is actually in niches. You've heard the famous phrase, the road to riches is in niches. And it couldn't be more true when it comes to invention, developing products and solutions. So instead of thinking about, gosh, my product is not going to scale, it's not going to be millions of people, billions of people adopting it. Well, maybe it doesn't have to. And even if it did, it might not even be profitable if it was spread across that big of a scale. You can be more profitable oftentimes serving a much smaller, distinguished, unique set of individuals and impact across the different market. Here's some examples from the real world. Spanx. Spanx is the undergarment worn by mostly women. They had early licensing competitors. These were non-scalers. So while Spanx did scale into a giant, many other apparel inventors didn't. They patented their narrow garment features and licensed them to major brands, earning steady royalties without binding companies. So Spanx specifically had their main core offering, which did scale, but they had lots of other inventions that were applications, accessories, developments of the material. Those were all licensed out because they knew they were very specific, maybe focused on certain types of legs or certain types of skin types or material types and applications that might be too small to scale, but they still made money. They helped the company be profitable, and so could you. Second one is university inventors. This is everywhere, professors included. Most university inventors never start companies. They stay in the research cycle. That's what universities and research institutions do. So what they do is they continue researching as they develop potentially commercially viable products. They find someone who's interested to take that product into the private sector. It's called technology transfer. This is very common. Number 3 is the super soaker nozzle. This is a single feature patent. Right? Very specific, right? A valve, a trigger, or a nozzle. Some of these most profitable patents, they just cover one very small improvement and addresses that unique niche and does allow unique benefits, additional profits, and licensing opportunities to other types of, super soakers, right? Non-super soaker brands, where that type of nozzle can be licensed across multiple different products, lots of different brands, and make money in that very focused niche. So if you don't want to scale, that's okay. You don't need to become a CEO to benefit from invention. So don't say, can I scale this? Ask, is it worth owning? And can I go find the gold that's in this niche? All right, everybody, I'm JD Houvener, wishing you guys a great day. Go big, go bold.